On the urban debate tonight, we ask, why should citizens suffer? Should transport unions be allowed to strike in this manner? Join us on Twitter, #TransportHike. You can transport strike. You can share your opinions. You can call us on the phone number at the bottom of your screen and tell us what a day you've had getting to and from the office and what sort of an experience you've had. Why should citizens suffer at the hands of transport unions? Should they be allowed to strike? Joining me on the show this evening, Brijesh Kalappa Congress Spokesperson joins us from New Delhi. Niranjan Shetty BJP Spokesperson will join us in Mumbai shortly. Ravi Iyer, as a citizen in Mumbai. Jayadeva, Raje is the Secretary General of the Akhila Karnataka Rajya Raste Saarige Mahamandali in Bangalore. Rajender Soni is a member of the Joint Action Committee Auto Rickshaw and Taxi Union in Noida. And Kishan Verma is the President of the All Delhi Auto Taxi Transport Congress. I want to thank all of our guests for coming in. First of all, I will start with Mr. Jayadeva Raje. Mr. Jayadeva Raje, what are the demands you're making, and is it fair that citizens of Bangalore have to suffer in the manner they've suffered for the last 2 days because your association wants hikes in their salaries?
No, at the outset, I apologize all the public, those who are put to suffer, because once whatever demanded, we put forth our demand almost 8 months back to the 4 corporations in Karnataka, demanding some wage hike of 35% and other demands with reference to overtime wages and timings and all other demands also. But management did not discuss with us, did not have any dialogue with us, proper dialogues with us, and come to a settlement. Just in the history of the KSRTC, from 1957 to 1992, there was a system of dialogue with the trade unions and enter into an agreement with reference to all the wage settlement and other perks. But since 1996, the management of KSRTC and the government of Karnataka, they have given go by and they are declaring unilateral declaration of the wage hikes.
Mr. Raje,
we want
give me a response to this. On Monday, there were incidents of stone pelting at 150 buses by employees of the KSRTC in the Northeastern Corporation. 70 buses were damaged. In Hassan, 3 employees were pelting buses or stones at their own buses.
There may be.
Shouldn't this be at least a peaceful protest? If you are now saying that you should have the right to protest, shouldn't it be peaceful? You're damaging property that belongs to citizens.
Madam, madam, it is. No, madam, there is 1,25,000 employees are there in the whole of Karnataka and 23,000 buses are there in the whole of Karnataka. And of course, there are few stray incidents may be there. But we have strictly told all our employees to be peaceful, and all employees, they are not on the streets, and also they are not near the depots also, they are not indulging in any unlawful activities. There will be 1 or 2 stray incidents because of the provocation of the government and also the managements, the forcing the employees to go on services and go on routes and all those things, and not allowed to deposit their revenue, what they have brought during their schedules. That few irritated the few employees, and they might have pelted here and there. But totally,
in another incident, some of your association members barged into the MD's office in Hassan and assaulted 3 employees who were working during the strike. Is this the sort of strike that you're doing? Do you expect the government to listen to you if you're resorting to violence and you're resorting to damaging public property?
No. We are not there to public property, because we treat the buses or our God, because we earn our bread through the buses only. All our employees, they respect the buses as their God, that they think that it is going to feed for himself and their families. But there are few misgivings may be there, but that is not universal. Throughout state, the entire strike is totally peaceful. Because I told you there are 1,25,000 people, employees are there, 23,000 buses are there. 1 or 2 strains, that is natural.
1 or 2 strains. Brijesh Kalappa, respond to this. I want you to respond to 2 things. First of all, the fact here that the association tells us that they have been trying to speak with the Karnataka government for the last 8 months. And they've made no headway, which is why they've resorted to this strike. That's the first point. And secondly, a strike that puts people at the kind of inconvenience that was in the city of Bangalore today. Schools and colleges had to be closed. People couldn't get to their offices. People couldn't get home. How is anybody supposed to function in this manner? Shouldn't the government have been more proactive? And is this the kind of strike that is required before the government, reacts to anything where they're breaking buses? There's violence happening in small towns like Hassan?
First of all, Faye, I think to some extent, the employees have a right to protest, and this is part of the constitutional process where they are allowed to protest. But of course, taking the law into their own hands and damaging public property is something which the Supreme Court has also commented upon, and this is something that they should have avoided. But insofar as their demands are concerned, the demands are for a 35% hike. And I think clearly anybody will straight away say, but that even when the central government was giving the 7th pay commission, there was only a hike of 7%. So the 35% hike which they are demanding is something which is a little unrealistic, and it is time that they rethink, and they because ultimately this is a no profit kind of service where the government is trying to provide a service to its own citizens, and the
Brijesh
employees
Kalappa, just
are
because
part
the
of that
government treats it
process.
as a no-profit service, it doesn't mean that these people have to function or work without any sort of raises. It's not fair to expect the employees to work without any sort of expectation of profit.
No, I appreciate today the price of dal is 200 rupees a kilo, and it's far more costly than chicken is. So I do appreciate that there are problems which the unions are facing, and this is an issue which can be resolved only by talks, and without talks these issues can't be resolved. Now after having, of course, there has been a strike, it is our endeavor to see to it that there is no elongation of this period, and the period of this kind of disagreement is cut down, and we are going to ensure that, and I'm sure that there will be an early resolution of the issue. We are only going to appeal to the unions through your channel to say that kindly don't listen to the opposition and hedge your bets on the opposition, because the opposition is clearly misleading, because there is one leader of the opposition who said that the government must give in and must accept the conditions straight away, and this kind of
Brijesh Kalappa, is the government accepting the conditions? Will these employees of the state be given their 30%, 35% pay hike that they want, or no? That's the question, really.
No, see, merely because the employees ask for a certain degree of pay hike doesn't mean that the government will straight away accept.
So no.
This is something which has to be worked out, and there is a process through which this is worked out. So it can't be that merely because they ask we give. It's not as simple as that, because as you realize,
Jayadeva Raje, so you're hearing a representative of the government telling us that the 35% hike that you're asking for is not going to be possible. What is going to happen tomorrow in the city of Bangalore? Will the strike continue? How long will the strike continue for?
Madam, we are very clearly, we clearly made statements before the minister and the chief minister also. There may be a demand of 30 to 35% hike in our wages, but we are told that it is very flexible. But whatever the government has announced about 10%, that is not sufficient when compared to hikes in the Andhra, Telangana, when compared to the wages of the central government or the state government. The central government has declared the...
so will you continue your strike, Mr. Jayadeva Raje, or no?
23.5%, not 7%, it is 23.5%. No, we will not continue. We are not issued a strike notice for sake of strike. We fought for the 8 months since the government and the management did not come for any negotiations. And that is the problem. They pulled us to go on strike. They forced us to go on strike. But that is not our intention to continue strike forever. We wanted a settlement as early as possible. Only we request the government to come forward and sit with us and negotiate and to come to arrive at settlement. We are not demanding for 35% or 30%. It's only a demand. But we are not stick to our guns. The government should not stick to their guns of 10%. At some time, to negotiations, we can meet at some point, at midpoint, and cut the...
No, Mr. Jayadeva, for the citizens of Bangalore who are watching right now, will the strike continue tomorrow? Will the strike continue tomorrow?
No, tomorrow, madam, because till today, the government of Karnataka or the management, they not come forward to
They have not
discuss
negotiated with you. So you
unions.
continue to stay
I'm
on
very sorry
strike
to hear.
tomorrow as
Sorry
well?
for the state of affair. We definitely are going to clinch the issue within hours. Now also we are prepared to discuss with the issue with the government. If the government comes forward and discuss with us, the matter will be clinched within few hours, not days. We are going to call off the strike when our just demands are met.
Niranjan Shetty joins me in the studio. Niranjan is the BJP spokesperson. Niranjan Shetty, you're hearing what the transport union representative is saying, that he will resolve this strike in the matter of hours if the government comes forward. The government there saying that don't listen to the opposition, but come back to work. So there's obviously some sort of mismatch in communication between governments and transport union associations here.
As far as our government in Maharashtra is concerned, we have taken steps to see to it that the commuters are not in trouble.
What steps did you take? What steps did you take?
Absolutely. If you can recollect, just yesterday, our Honorable Chief Minister met the union people and he has assured that some kind of policies can be come up with so that presently the strike which was supposed to be done today itself was did not happen so.
It did not happen, but it has been put off for 8 days. In fact, this happened in our studio last night, and I'll play that out for you when my producer gets it ready. The association that was threatening to strike of taxis in Mumbai has given the Chief Minister an ultimatum of 8 days, saying, bring out a plan to regulate aggregators or we will leave our taxis on the road and we will go on strike.
No, stern action will be taken against such violators. We would like to make clear through your channel. But one thing I would like to say that commuters will not be suffering. Now the change, whatever is happening on the ground, it is they have to accept that kind of things. So you cannot take people to the ransom. What I was trying to say was,
I want you to listen to this. We have this. We'll play this out in response to what you've just said. And this is for Mumbai, for the citizens of Mumbai. This is what we have now, a deadline of 7 days from the Taxi Association. Listen in.
सीएम साहब ने बोल दिया है कि मैं 8 दिन के अंदर इन लोग के ऊपर कार्रवाई करने का हम लोग को ये दिया है और 8 दिन के बाद कार्रवाई नहीं होएगा तो ये भगवान महासंघ जी टैक्सी यूनियन अब भी बॉम्बे में चालू हो गए।
आपने अभी बोला है कि अगले 8 दिन में अगर चीफ मिनिस्टर जी ने इस पे कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की तो आप लोग फिर से स्ट्राइक करने वाले हो?
हाँ, यस मैडम,
आप फिर से स्ट्राइक करने वाले हो। आरती साठे is an open threat here from the association, from the Jai Bhagwan Federation of Taxi Drivers, that says if the Chief Minister doesn't regulate the aggregators of Ola and Uber in the next 8 days, that these gentlemen will leave their taxis on the road and go home because it no longer makes sense to drive a taxi in the city of Mumbai. Mr. Shetty, abhi boliye.
Yeah, I said no. My counterpart who was there, Aarti Sathe, she must have also said the same thing. What I am trying to say is such violators will take a law into their hand, will be strong steps will be taken against them, and naturally we don't want to trouble either the commuters, but whatever the action of the law of the land will be has to be taken, we'll take. As far as Ola and Uber are concerned, we are thinking to make some kind of policy. The Transport Commissioner has been told to think of it. So,
I also want to argue that, Niranjan Shetty, yesterday though, the association also told us that they have been, this is the third strike threat. They have been talking about this with the state government for 2 years now and waiting for that taxi regulation to be brought in. It has not been done. Why does it take so long?
No, we have also told, our Honorable Chief Minister also told the union people that, it takes time. We have just come to the and formed a government.
So you formed a government 2 years ago. I think that
only 2 years ago. So whatever, only few days back, just for a kind information, I had taken the update, everything about when the union had come forward with the proposal to our Maharashtra government. It was recently. It was not 2 years back that they had given such kind of proposal. So as soon as it came to our hand, fell into our hand, we decided to take corrective measures on it. And yes, we are taking and talking to the our commissioner, transport commissioner, is looking at a wider perspective how to save such kind of problem that would be people that will be facing by Mumbai city.
All right, let me also take a look right now at Delhi, and then I'll come back to Ravi Iyer. We'll talk about what this means for us as citizens. राजेंद्र सोनी जी, आप बताइए, आप आज की आपकी जो ऑटो की स्ट्राइक थी, दिल्ली में, इससे लोगों को बहुत दिक्कत हुई। हमारे रिपोर्टर बता रहे थे हमको कि बारिश हो रही थी, बच्चे स्कूल से बाहर निकल रहे थे, उनको ऑटो नहीं मिला, उनको पूरी 1-2 घंटे रुकनी पड़ी रास्ते पे। तो आपकी ऐसे स्ट्राइक करने से जब लोगों को इतनी दिक्कत होती है तो आप स्ट्राइक क्यों करते हैं?
देखिए, हमने स्ट्राइक नहीं करी मैडम, ये स्ट्राइक करवाई है दिल्ली सरकार के मुख्यमंत्री केजरीवाल जी ने।
ऐसे क्यों?
हाँ, जब 18 अप्रैल को दिल्ली के अंदर हड़ताल हो रही थी ऑटो रिक्शा टैक्सी की, 17 अप्रैल को इन्होंने ये लिख के दिया था, क्या नाम है, हम ओला उबर कंपनियों को यहाँ से दिल्ली से बंद कर देंगे और आप हड़ताल वापस ले लो। ये मेरे पास कागज है दिल्ली सरकार का लिखा हुआ। ये केजरीवाल जी की जो सरकार है ये मुकर चुकी है अपने वादे से, और हम 3 महीने से भाई इनके घरों के चक्कर लगा रहे हैं, भाई आप हमारे से वार्ता करो, मीटिंग करो। मगर मैं ये समझता हूँ जब से ये केजरीवाल जी की सरकार आई है, सबसे हिंदुस्तान के अंदर सबसे झूठी सरकार है ये। ऑटो रिक्शा टैक्सी वालों ने इनकी मदद करी, आज क्या नाम है, ऑटो रिक्शा टैक्सी वालों का रोजगार छीन रही है ये सरकार, और ये कहीं ना कहीं ओला उबर कंपनियों से मिली हुई है पूरी तरह, और ये ट्रेड को खत्म करना चाहती है। और हम लोग क्या नाम है, दिल्ली की जनता से, बाहर से आने वाले जो यात्री हैं उनसे माफी चाहेंगे, हम ऑटो रिक्शा टैक्सी की सेवा नहीं दे पाए। हड़ताल कोई हमारा शौक नहीं था करने का, ये हड़ताल मजबूर होके भाई हम लोगों का रोटी रोजी का सवाल पैदा हो गया। ओला उबर कंपनियों ने हमारे लोगों को बेरोजगार कर दिया। आज ये स्थिति हो गई, टैक्सी ऑटो वालों के नंबर नहीं लगते, भूखमरी के कगार पे खड़े हो गए। इसका जिम्मेदार कौन है? केजरीवाल जी बड़ी बड़ी बातें करते थे, मैं ऑटो रिक्शा टैक्सी वालों की बातें करूंगा। आज लगता है ये केजरीवाल जी उन कंपनियों के साथ मिली भगत हो गई, इनकी मिली भगत होने के साथ हमारे लोगों को बेरोजगार कर रहे हैं।
आपकी डिमांड्स क्या है राजेंद्र सोनी जी? आपके क्या डिमांड्स है अभी दिल्ली सरकार से?
दिल्ली सरकार से हमारी डिमांड ये है, ओला उबर कंपनियों को बैन करो,
बैन करो, पूरी तरह बैन करो,
पूरी तरह बिल्कुल। ये विदेशी कंपनियां हैं, ये ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी आई थी आपको।
लेकिन ओला उबर की जो टैक्सियां चला रहे हैं वो भी दिल्ली वाले ही हैं।
नहीं, दिल्ली वाले नहीं है, ये मैं बता देता हूँ आपको। सही कह रहे हो आप, दिल्ली वाले हो सकते हैं। इन्होंने ओला उबर कंपनियों ने पंजाब की गाड़ी दिल्ली के अंदर चलवाते हैं, राजस्थान की टैक्सी यहाँ चलवाते हैं, हिमाचल की टैक्सी यहाँ चलवाते हैं। ये तो धर्मशाला बना दी इन्होंने दिल्ली के अंदर, कोई कानून नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, राजकता फैल गई दिल्ली के अंदर। तो हम तो इतना कहना चाहते हैं, देखो केजरीवाल जी हैं, केजरीवाल जी अब मीडिया के सामने ही हमारे से बात करेंगे, मीडिया के आगे ही बात करेंगे, मीडिया के माध्यम से हमारी हड़ताल खुलेगी। और जब तक हम हड़ताल नहीं खोलेंगे, ये केजरीवाल जी हमारी मांगों को पूरा नहीं करते। और मैं भूख हड़ताल पे, हमारे लोग 11 आदमी कल से केजरीवाल के घर पे भूख हड़ताल पे बैठेंगे।
तो कल भी क्या दिल्ली में ऑटो की स्ट्राइक जारी रहेगी?
बिल्कुल, ऑटो टैक्सी की हड़ताल जारी रहेगी, ये कैंटोनमेंट चलेगी जब तक केजरीवाल जी मीडिया के आगे आएंगे। भाई इनकी मांगे मैंने मान ली हैं, जब हड़ताल खुलेगी ये आर पार की लड़ाई होगी केजरीवाल सरकार से।
किशन वर्मा जी नमस्कार, आप बताइए कि आप भी ऐसे ही बोलना चाहते हैं कि ये दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट की प्रॉब्लम है और ओला उबर को पूरी तरह बंद करनी चाहिए? ऐसे अगर होगा तो फिर लोग जो अभी ओला उबर लेके जो सैर कर रहे हैं अभी दिल्ली में, उनका क्या होगा? दिक्कत होगी लोगों को, और जो ओला उबर के ड्राइवर्स हैं उनकी रोजी रोटी बंद हो जाएगी।
नहीं, देखिए मैम, हम बता देना चाहते हैं कि 1956 से ये दिल्ली में ऑटो टैक्सी चल रही हैं, और इसको लेकर दिल्ली के लोगों में जो विश्वास था वो एक तरह से तोड़ने की कोशिश की जा रही है। आज केजरीवाल सरकार ने जो हमसे वादे किए थे 4 महीने पहले, वो वादे वो पूरे नहीं करते दिखाई दे रहे, वो अपनी जिम्मेदारियों से भागते दिखाई दे रहे हैं। जब वादा पूरे करने की बात आती है तो इनके जो ट्रांसपोर्ट मिनिस्टर हैं सत्येंद्र जैन, अगर उनसे बात की जाती है तो वो दूसरे कमरे में चले जाते हैं उठ के। तो बात कैसे हो? जो बेरोजगारी का हम पे टीका लगने जा रहा है, तो सरकार हमारी मांगों को क्यों नहीं सुन रही, क्यों नहीं इसे अफोर्ड कर रही? तो हमारा कहना यह है कि जो ओला उबेर कंपनियां हैं उनको कानून के दायरे में लाया जाए। जो टैक्सियां, इकोनॉमिक रेडियो टैक्सियां जो 12 रुपये 50 पैसे किलोमीटर पे चलती हैं, जिनको दिल्ली राज्य सरकार ने परमिट जारी किए हैं, उन पे मीटर भी लगे हुए हैं ऑटो टैक्सी की तरह, तो उन पे कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की जाती? तो ये मानना है कि जो दिल्ली की आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार है वो चालकों को बेरोजगारी के मुकाम पे पहुंचाना चाहती है, और ओला और उबेर कंपनियों से इनकी मिली भगत है। और ये अपना पीछे भी इनको पर्यावरण के नाम पर जो है ओला कंपनी ने 200 करोड़ रुपया दिया, वो 200 करोड़ रुपया कपिल मिश्रा जी को मिला, वो पैसा कहाँ पे लगाया इन्होंने?
Okay, I want to bring in Ravi Iyer here. Ravi, as a citizen, this This seems to be the problem in Bangalore, in Delhi, in Mumbai. And the one thing that we're hearing, and I want to point out to our audience here, Bangalore has a Congress government, Mumbai and Maharashtra has a BJP government, Delhi has an Aam Aadmi Party government. This problem is uniform across all three states. And what we've heard from all of the union of those transporters is that the government has not communicated, the government has not negotiated, and the government has not met their demands. Ravi, the thing that is uniform to all of these people is the citizen who is inconvenienced in an already bad situation. All of these three cities have terrible traffic conditions and things are only being made worse. As a citizen, do you think that transporters and taxi drivers and auto drivers should be prevented from striking because right now they can't, but there is the Essential Services Act? Or should governments be more proactive?
I think governments need to be more proactive. One, firstly, under the Essential Services Act, first and foremost, we as citizens are being inconvenienced for something as simple as if milk doesn't come to our doorstep. That's a problem. If you don't have a taxi at your doorstep today, in present conditions, it is a problem for certain citizens. If there's a senior citizen who needs to get to a hospital, let's say, how is he going to get there? Ambulances are not available everywhere that easily. Now, at a time when taxis go out on strike, what does a person do in case of an emergency? I think in India, we've not addressed the issue of transport seriously at all. We don't consider it seriously. First and foremost, none of the taxi drivers are educated decently enough to even know where you want to go. The Kali Pili taxi guys get there by asking people, let's suppose, for starters. The Ola and Uber guys, what these guys rightly say is true to some extent. Some of them come from out of town and they have no clue about the city. In Bombay, this is very rampant. You get a lot of Ola and Uber taxi drivers who have no clue about where they are headed. They have an app out there and they get there to your destination. You've asked them to come to a next point. They come there, but they have no clue where they have to go.
Right.
And Google Maps doesn't necessarily help in a country like India.
The demands that are being made by the unions right now is to limit the number of Olas and Ubers or to ban them entirely. What happens to citizens if that happens?
I think citizens would suffer drastically. You shouldn't be banning them completely, but there needs to be a regulation with them.
There needs to be a regulation. All right, Jayant is on the phone line from Mumbai. Jayant, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm watching this debate and it's extremely interesting. However, I would like to make a comment instead of a question.
Sure, go ahead.
My comment is very simple. I mean, I have been an NRI from last 21 years and once in 2 years or 3 years, I come and visit India and stay for a couple of months in Bombay. I have come across plenty of such kind of incidences, particularly trying to stop a yellow cab. They don't stop. They talk arrogantly. If I have to go for a smaller distance, they refuse. So fortunately, there is a competition to yellow cab. Fortunately, there is a competition from a couple of different cab companies to this yellow cab. And now they are on the negotiating table. Now they are demanding, they are asking for a special fare so that they should get a business. So,
right. So they should improve their service. Jayant, what you're saying is they should improve their service. And I want to ask Brijesh Kalappa and of course Mr. Niranjan Shetty right now. Brijesh Kalappa, also from your legal point of view, the truth is that every time a transport union goes on strike, citizens suffer. And if it goes on strike indefinitely, like we're seeing in 2 of these cases, in Bangalore and in Delhi, is there room here for the Essential Services Act to be brought in? Because in Delhi, at least, they're not employees of the government. Should transport unions be allowed to strike?
No, ESMA is always an option, Faye. ESMA will be used. It's not that we will hesitate to use ESMA. As and when it's necessary, we'll use ESMA. But as has been pointed out, I think by you only, that the contract workers have been put in place, and there is a basic service which is now being made available to citizens. It's not that there is a full-fledged service. Of course, there is inconvenience to people, but we also would like to see there has to be a it just can't be that we force a solution. The solution has to be a holistic one. It has to be a long-lasting one. It can't merely be that we thrust a solution down people's throat and then there is a strike 2 months down the line. There has to be something which I think they also have, because over a period of time, I think both parties reconcile to some extent. And this is the good thing about a strike. Of course, there are commuters which are put to trouble. There are passengers who are put to trouble. There are aged who are put to trouble. There are the young who go to school who are put to trouble. But this is, I think, something which...
So you're saying that the Congress government in Karnataka is open to using Essential Services Act and to bring the bus drivers back to the job if they have to?
No, ESMA is always an option. That was an option which was available to us 2 days ago. It was an option available to us today. It could have been used at any time. But the point is that if you use ESMA, then the point is that, there is some kind of a break of trust. And to that extent, we don't want to use it. We will try and negotiate with them. We have made an offer to them. According to us,
Jayadeva, Raje is telling us that you have not negotiated. There's been no offer that has been made. No conversation has happened across the table. Brijesh Kalappa, Jayadeva, Raje just told us that you have not negotiated with these people at all.
No, but he is the one who said that there has been an offer for 10% hike. Was it not him who said so? And I am the one who's saying that there is a 35% request from them. So these two numbers have to be matched. And we don't want the bus drivers, we don't want them to be unhappy. Because they are our people. We don't want them to be unhappy. We don't want the employees of the unions to be unhappy. Because as the state, we are the parents' patry. We have to look after every person in the state. It's our responsibility, and we are acutely aware of this responsibility. And it's not that we want to shirk from this responsibility, but the state faces some financial constraints. And given these financial constraints...
All right, fair enough. Jayadeva Raje, you're hearing here that the Karnataka government is open to a negotiation between the number of 35% what you're asking for and the 10% that has been offered by the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaiah. Are you open to that negotiation right now? You said that if the Karnataka government speaks to you, you will call off the strike. If the Karnataka government right now speaks to you, will you call off the strike?
Yes. No, not call off, madam, because before call off any strike, there should be some understanding between the government and trade unions. Without any assurance from the government or any settlement there between the union and the government, we cannot call off without any unconditionally. We can't call off the strike because we don't have any trust in the government or in the management. Because when we wanted to have a settlement through last 25 years, they did not have any democratic process in the state. They did not give any values to the democracy, and the more undemocratic way they are dealing with all the issues. That we don't trust the government or the management. But we are prepared to discuss the issue and reconcile the issue, and we are prepared to reconcile our demand from 35% or in between lower down the 35%, and we come to settlement.
Brijesh Kalappa, there is no faith in the government or the management of the Karnataka transport, and that seems to be the problem here.
Yeah.
No, see, this is, I think, he's not been able to say it correctly. And I don't wish to make a quarrel with that, because I don't think he's able to fashion his words the way he wants to say them. It's not that, he says that I have no faith in the government. If he has no faith in the government, he can go to a neighboring state. That is not the issue here. The issue is that there is an offer from them, and there is an acceptance which we'll have to give.
Mr. Jayadeva Raja, Mr. Brijesh Kalappa is saying that if you have no faith in the government of Karnataka, you're free to move to a neighboring state.
No, not a question of faith, not a faith in the government means, but that doesn't mean that we disagree with, we don't have any faith in the government. But whatever that they have betrayed us in the last 25 years, because they know any negotiations with us. They are unilaterally declaring the wage revisions in spite of the orders from the High Court and Supreme Court or everything else. But when they did not respect the values of the democracy, how we people can trust the government?
So he's saying move to a separate state, Mr. Raje. He's saying if you don't have faith, then move to a different state. Is that an option for you and all of your employees to shift to a different state because you have no faith in the government of Karnataka?
Yeah.
No, Faye, don't push. Don't push something. He's speaking of 25 years, Faye. Don't push something which is irresponsible. It's not something.
Right,
don't push something irresponsible, Faye. I just said it as a matter of
as a matter of fact, but Brijesh Kalappa, you said it on national television that if he has no faith, he's free to move to another state.
Come on, Faye, come on. You know, he's saying that, you know, he has no faith. So I already qualified it, and I said that this is not the way he wants to say it.
Well, it does seem, of course, that that strike in Bangalore is going to continue because there is no, you know, both the government and the union are not seeing eye to eye. Amrita, in the meantime, is on the phone line from Gurgaon. Amrita, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Faye.
Good evening.
Good evening to everyone. There are two things, Faye. I live in Gurgaon and travel to Delhi. In Delhi, NCR, the taxis, etc., are not as freely available as it's in Bombay, where you just come out of Kamla Mills and you get a cab. So the Ola and Uber for women, especially at night, has been godsend. Other than good service, you can see where they are coming. They come in 5 minutes.
Right.
So the question of banning them in a place like Delhi, where as women's safety is a concern, is ridiculous. The second thing is technology. Now this Google app technology is freely available. So rather than striking and holding customers to ransom, they should upgrade their taxis and scooters and get onto the app.
That's a fair point. Amrita, I'm going to ask you to repeat that in Hindi. So Mr. Rajender Soni and Kishan Verma, who are of that association, can hear you as a citizen of Delhi. Tell them what you go through when you travel in Delhi every day and why their demands are unfair, because the actual autos and taxis right now are unsafe for women.
हाँ, तो दिल्ली में और गुड़गांव में स्पेशली टैक्सी और ऑटो रास्ते में नहीं मिलती, जैसे बॉम्बे में घर से निकल के मिल जाती है. वो थोड़ा दूर चल के फिर मिलता है. तो और जब से उबर और ओला आए हैं और उससे पहले इजी कैब, तो ऑटो के लिए काफी सेफ बन गई हैं और उनको आसानी से कैब मिल जाती है, स्पेशली रात को. आई एम नॉट इवन गेटिंग इनटू वो इश्यूज कि टैक्सी वाला मना कर देता है, ऑटो वाला रूड होता है. ये सब तो अलग बात है. तो अगर ओला और उबर बैन हो जाए तो औरतों की सेफ्टी के लिए बहुत ही खतरनाक बन जाएगा फिर से ट्रैवल. एक तो ये बात है. दूसरी बात ये है कि टेक्नोलॉजी, ये जो गूगल ऐप टेक्नोलॉजी अवेलेबल है जिसके बेसिस पे ये लोग चलते हैं, अपने कोऑर्डिनेट्स दिखाते हैं और हम जल्दी से बुला सकते हैं, ये टेक्नोलॉजी तो ऑटो और टैक्सी वाले भी ले सकते हैं. इनफैक्ट गुड़गांव में जुगनू सर्विसेज है ऑटो के, जो बिल्कुल ओला के बेसिस पे चलते हैं और गूगल में हम देख सकते हैं अपने फोन पे कि कहाँ से आ रहे हैं. तो अगर टेक्नोलॉजी ये लोग अपग्रेड करे तो इनको कोई शिकायत होनी नहीं चाहिए. वैसे भी फ्री इकोनॉमी है, हम कस्टमर्स के लिए ये टैक्सी चलती है, टैक्सी यूनियन के लिए थोड़ी कस्टमर चलता है.
ठीक है, किशन वर्मा जी इसके जवाब दे दीजिए. ये जो अमृता जी ने फोन करके बताया, ये तो बहुत सही बात है कि दिल्ली में औरतों के लिए कोई सेफ्टी नहीं होती. तो जैसे अभी ओला और उबर आए तो औरतें तो ट्रैवल तो कर सकते हैं लगभग दिल्ली में, आप उनको बैन करेंगे तो फिर कैसे होगा?
हम बताना चाहते हैं इसी बात को लेकर कि ऑटो टैक्सी में सेफ है पैसेंजर. हमारा चालक रात को भी अपना महिलाओं को, बेटियों को,
वर्मा जी सब जानते हैं कि ऑटो वाले कितने मना करते हैं दिल्ली में, कितने बदतमीजी से बात करते हैं औरतों से.
मगर आज सुधार आया है दिल्ली के ऑटो टैक्सी चालकों में. पहले से बहुत ज्यादा सुधार आया है क्योंकि इन पे जीपीएस भी लागू हुआ है और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीटर भी है. और दूसरी बात मैं आपको बता देना चाहता हूँ, आए दिन जो मीडिया में खबरें आती हैं ओला उबेर कैब के जो ड्राइवर्स हैं छेड़ाखानी में कभी रेप किए जा रहे हैं, कभी कुछ किया जा रहा है, तो उन पे ये कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए. और हमारी मांग यही है कि ओला उबेर जैसी जो ऐप बेस्ट अपना कंपनियां हैं उनको तत्काल प्रभाव से सरकार बंद करे.
आप मुझे ये बताइए वर्मा जी, आप अपने टैक्सी या ऑटो में ऐसे जीपीएस वाला ऐप क्यों नहीं लगाते? आप अपने सर्विस इंप्रूव कीजिए. आप उनका कहना है, अमृता जी का कहना है कि अभी के ऑटो वाले बहुत बदतमीजी से बात करते हैं औरतों से, कि उनको सेफ्टी नहीं रहती, रात को मना करते हैं, घर तक नहीं लेके आते. तो आप अपनी सर्विस इंप्रूव कीजिए, आप वो क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं?
दिल्ली सरकार ने पीछे पूछो ऐप लॉन्च करने जा रही थी, मगर पूछो ऐप के लिए उनका कोई भी अपना अभी एजेंडा तैयार नहीं हुआ है. उसमें ऑटो टैक्सी चालकों से लेकर बस तक जोड़ी जा रही है.
हाँ, लेकिन तमीज से बात करना और ऐसे मना नहीं करने के लिए ऐप की जरूरत नहीं होती मिस्टर वर्मा.
नहीं, इसके लिए हम कहते हैं अपना दिल्ली के पैसेंजरों को भी और जो बाहर से भी आते हैं, तो हम हाथ जोड़ के बेनती करते हैं उनसे भी, अगर चालक ने कोई गलती किया, अगर आप शिकायत भी कर सकते हैं उनकी, तो उन पे कार्रवाई की जाती है।
किसके पास जाके शिकायत करेंगे? किसके पास जाके शिकायत करेंगे?
ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट है, उसका भी नंबर उनके गाड़ियों पे लिखा रहता है, 181 भी है, तो उस पे भी अपना इनके ऊपर तत्काल कार्रवाई होती है।
I invite any of the ladies or any of the citizens of Delhi who are watching right now to call us on this number and communicate with the gentlemen who represent the autos and the taxis of Delhi, because he believes, like he told us on screen right now, that he believes that things are much better in Delhi than they used to be. Dr. Sukanya Iyer, yes, Ravi.
फिर मैं दिल्ली के बाहर रहने वाला इंसान हूँ, उनसे मैं इस बार हिंदी में बोलना चाहता हूँ। मैं जब कभी दिल्ली आता हूँ, एक ज़माने में नहीं, अभी तक मुझे डर लगता है दिल्ली के ऑटो वालों से और टैक्सी वालों से।
क्यों डर लगता है?
डर इस बात का लगता है, वहाँ पे सिर्फ औरतें ही सेफ नहीं करके बात नहीं है, आप मर्द हो, ट्रांसवेस्टाइट हो, कोई भी हो, आप अगर टैक्सी में रात को अगर बैठते हो तो आपके साथ कुछ भी हो सकता है। और ये मेरे साथ मुझे कहा गया है। एक बार मैं कहीं किसी काम से गया था दिल्ली, रात को गया था, फॉग था, इंडिया गेट के पास था मैं, वहाँ कोई म्यूज़िक कॉन्सर्ट ख़त्म करके मैं होटल जाना चाहता था। मुझे ये कहा गया कि आप अगर अब इस वक्त किसी ऑटो या टैक्सी में बैठोगे तो आपकी कोई खैर नहीं। आप बताइए, ऐसे में बाहर से आने वाला इंसान करे क्या?
निरंजन शेट्टी,
आई वुड ऑल्सो लाइक टू स्पीक इन हिंदी इटसेल्फ। मैं ये बता देना चाहता हूँ, जैसा अय्यर जी ने बताया कि मैं भी दिल्ली आते रहता हूँ, लेकिन जिस प्रकार से मैं GK2 से ओखला की तरफ गया तो यकीन मानिए मैं ऑटो रिक्शा के फेयर में वहाँ तक पहुँच पाया। और ये होता है, जिस प्रकार से इन्होंने कहा कि बदतमीज़ी एक बात होती है, और दूसरी जिस प्रकार से आप ऑटो के जो फेयर्स होते हैं या टैक्सी के फेयर्स होते हैं वो आप बताते ही नहीं हैं। आप दावा करते हैं कि मीटर से चलते हैं, लेकिन मीटर से एक भी आप दिल्ली में एक भी रिक्शा बताइए, आपको जो चाहे मुंह मांगी कीमत हम दे देंगे। यहाँ पर
एक भी रिक्शा बताइए। राजेंद्र सोनी जी, आपने सुना, ऑटो को सेफ्टी नहीं लगती, आप बाहर से जो आते हैं उनको ऑटो नहीं लेना है दिल्ली में, आप मीटर के हिसाब से नहीं चलते, बदतमीजी से बात होती है, तो आप बताइए ओला उबर को कोई भला क्यों बैन करे दिल्ली में?
एक ये कहते हैं दिल्ली के अंदर मेरे को डर लगता है, भाई साहब ने बोला ना,
हाँ,
आधी रात को भी एक ऑटो रिक्शा टैक्सी ड्राइवर महिलाओं को घर छोड़ के आ रहा था, जिसके पास पैसे भी नहीं होते। मैं मानता हूं कुछ लोग गलत हो सकते हैं, सारे ट्रेड नहीं हो सकती गलत। और दूसरी बात ये कहते हैं, क्या नाम है, मीटर से नहीं चलते ऑटो वाले। 90% ऑटो रिक्शा इस समय GPS से लैस है, मीटर से सवारी क्यों नहीं मीटर से जाती? रेलवे स्टेशन पे आप उतरते हो, प्रीपेड है, ट्रैफिक पुलिस प्रीपेड चलाती है, आप क्यों नहीं प्रीपेड पे बैठते? आप प्रीपेड लो ना, 28 प्रीपेड बूथ चल रहे हैं दिल्ली ट्रैफिक पुलिस के, वो आप प्रीपेड लो, क्या दिक्कत है आपको? अगर
सर हम मुंबई एयरपोर्ट की नहीं बात कर रहे हैं, हम कह रहे हैं जब हम दिल्ली में घूमते हैं, हम यदि शास्त्री भवन से किसी और जगह जाना चाहते हैं तो वहां पर कोई भी आपका जो ऑटो रिक्शा वाला हो या टैक्सी ड्राइवर हो, वो मीटर के हिसाब से नहीं चलता सर। वो तो ये कहता है कि भाई मुझे इतना पैसा लगेगा।
मैं मानता हूं कुछ लोग हो सकते हैं, मैं
तो हम कुछ लोगों की बात करें, हम पूरी दिल्ली शहर के लोगों की बात नहीं करें, लेकिन आज तक हमारा अनुभव ऐसा है कि आज तक दिल्ली में हमें कोई भी ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं मिला जो ईमानदारी से मीटर से चले।
Brijesh Kalappa lives in Delhi as well. Brijesh is being very quiet. Brijesh, tell us, what is your experience right now? Do you agree with the representatives of the transport union that Delhi transport is safe, that women are comfortable traveling in autos and taxis in Delhi?
No, I think women generally avoid autos and taxis, and there have been a spate of incidents across the board where...
But not always, I don't...
Mr. Raje, I'll come to you in a second. I just want Brijesh Kalappa to answer the question first. Mr. Raje, just one second. One second. Brijesh Kalappa, go ahead.
No, I think, Faye, that women generally avoid autos and taxis in Delhi. Well, whatever the time be, they would prefer either a metro or a bus or some other mode of transport, and autos or taxis are considered something which I don't think a woman would generally take as a first choice. This has been this state of events, I think, since the last nearly 10 years. And I think, first of all, there has to be a sense of confidence which has to be instilled in the people of Delhi by these auto drivers and by the taxi drivers. And only then will things improve for them. Otherwise, if people don't have confidence to step into these autos and taxis, then I think it's a lost cause straight away.
In Delhi and in Bangalore, transport strikes have brought the city to a complete standstill. Delhi particularly bad. Bangalore has suffered with bad traffic for a couple of years right now. Today, people in Bangalore had a harrowing experience on the road. The question we're asking tonight: why should citizens suffer when transport unions go on strike? Should transport strikes be banned altogether? Is that even a possibility? Dr. Sukanya Iyer is on the phone line from Mumbai. She's a citizen with an opinion she'd like to share with us. Dr. Iyer, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, all. I've been hearing all the panelists and all your other people's views. मैं भी दिल्ली में रह चुकी हूँ और आती जाती रहती हूँ. The problem is that for Delhi, women are not safe. In fact, रात को 8 या 8:30 के बाद they cannot take public transport. They are scared. And hardly they put the meters and all, whether it's in Delhi or proper Delhi, Noida or Gurgaon. I do not know much, but Bangalore, the strikes as such should not happen. They should not happen. It really, causes a lot of destruction for local commuters. Okay, there are people with serious issues. They have to travel from one place to another. They have serious issues that has to be addressed to. All these strikes should be put an end. Regarding Uber and Ola, they're all regulated. They're all professionals. They don't charge us extra. We don't have to worry that they will drop us in the middle. And there's a proper system, like there's a billing system and there's a GPS which can be tracked and all. If all these things are available with the public transport, why a consumer whose requirements are met, then why a consumer has to go to other?
That's a fair point, but I must correct you here on one particular point, Dr. Iyer. Ola and Uber in Mumbai and a couple of other cities are not regulated. They may be transparent from your point of view because they're sharing information with the customer, but a taxi driver is only allowed to charge you a certain amount of money based on per kilometer of travel. Ola and Uber and other aggregators are allowed to fluctuate their rates.
But they are very good at service. VA, as you say, value-added service. We at our comfort, at our service. Okay. We are not at their service. There's a lot of difference between at our service and at their service.
Okay, fair enough. We also have Mr. Lobos on the phone line from Mumbai. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is in regards to the taxi drivers, this Kali Pili or whatever. Having an objection to the lower fares charged by Uber and Ola and all these taxis.
Yes.
I understand people fighting because rates are going high, and higher rates and higher charges being charged. Then I'm listening to something where they are saying we are fighting because the rates are low. If you cannot afford at a lower rate, you leave that taxi, you come to Uber. But you cannot say because my rates are higher, the lower rates should be cut down and we should be given higher rates. That is ridiculous. And why we are debating on that issue of that rates? They should just be struck down.
All right, so we should not be actually debating a better pricing or a better pricing market right now. Brijesh Kalappa, from a government's point of view, obviously this is a new system. Ola and Uber coming in, they've been disruptive. Uber's been disruptive across the world, wherever it's come in. There's a need here for governments to be more nimble-footed and to actually come out with regulation, because on one hand, we have taxis and autos that are completely regulated. What they wear, how they drive, what color the vehicles are, whether or not they have a badge on them at all points. There is a regulation through all of these services. There are only a certain number of licenses that are released in all of our cities every year. On the other hand, there's a free hand for Ola and Uber. For example, they don't have to be CNG in Mumbai. They can be diesel cars. Nobody's checking. How important is it for the government to get on top of this problem and do it quickly?
I must tell you, Faye, that insofar as Karnataka is concerned, that Ola and Uber, they don't have this kind of exorbitant rates which they have as in Delhi. There is this period, which is the peak period, during which Uber and Ola could charge an exorbitant rate. But that is not available in Bangalore. You'll find that any amount of travel, and this travel is totally regulated. and the consumer always pays the right price. So it's never that, he pays 6 times the actual fare or it's 7 times the actual fare, which oftentimes happens in Delhi, and people complain about it. And we have been able to solve this problem in Bangalore. And I think some credit must be given to us. But insofar as the other manner of regulation, whether it's of pollution and so on and so forth, I don't think they're non-regulated. And if there is a rule which applies across the board, that applies equally to Uber and to Ola. I don't think they are exempted from that. Whether it's
Mumbai government, the Maharashtra
or
government,
whether it's of CNG or anything.
Niranjan Shetty, the Maharashtra government has not brought about their rules yet, and this was a proposal that came in last year. It was a 2015 proposal that the Transport Minister has just sat down with the Chief Minister one more time and said we have to consider this. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I agree. I do not disagree to your point. It is taking a lot of time. But yes, of course, as soon as we'll come to the regularization of the Ola and Ubers, we'll see to it that it has been regulated in proper manner. As you rightly said, it is a concern. But I would also say that the union people were told by our Honorable Chief Minister also that you need to, through your channel would also, I would like to appeal to them, that they need to upgrade themselves. They need to compete with this Ola and Uber also, the way they have been doing that kind of business. The responsibility as a government of ours is there. We are going to regulate them. We are not going to keep any stone unturned. All Olas and Uber will be seen that they are
regulated in the state of Maharashtra. Right, we've run out of time this evening. I want to thank our panel for joining us, and thank you at home who picked up the phone and called us to be part of this conversation. We're going to keep a very close eye to each of these negotiations to find out when we'll find a resolution and what sort of resolution that will be. So if you're trapped on the road for any reason at all, get in touch with us. Whether it's traffic, it's potholes, it's a strike that's causing you inconvenience. These are issues that we will take up here on this channel on a regular basis. This is what we do. We focus on civic issues and problems in our urban centers. Thank you so much for watching. Stay with Magicbricks Now.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/MagicBricksNow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magicbricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/MagicBricksNow.